Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Warning. The following broadcast you're about to watch might be some of the greatest racing you've ever seen. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to the Outpost Racing League's Win Cashed Wednesday series right here on the Outpost Racing Network. My name, Mac Nelson. I'll be pushing all the buttons and making all the calls when it comes to being up here in the booth, but making all the calls down there on the lovely track is going to be our race director for the evening. Once again, Cody Lewis, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for him. He's been killing it all weeks here in the WCW, so looking forward to see what kind of wisdom he can bestow upon our drivers here tonight. Speaking of tonight, the stars of the OuTPRL Win Cash Wednesday series, they roll into the legendary Eldora Speedway. It's round 4 of the season here, where 100 laps await. There are no easy laps around this half-mile dirt coliseum. We'll take a look at the track info now, while the drivers of heat race number 1 are gritting up. Open in 1954, Rossburg, Ohio. Come on. Tony Stewart bought the thing in 2004. I mean, it's basically the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle of dirt racing when it comes to facilities. There's not many. There are some out in the world that are a little better kept up with than Eldora, but it's not going to be a ton. We'll get some early race info out of the way here. We are going to be at Lucas Oil next week. So very, very interesting. Very, very entertaining track. I can't wait to see how the drivers go when it comes to getting their feet wet there. Appreciate all you guys tuning in to the live stream. Thank you for inviting me into your home here on a Wednesday night. If we take a look at our league intel, round 4 of 10. Like I said, we are at Eldora. Next week, we'll go to Lucas Oil. 100 lap feature here tonight, but let's get into that starting grid. I take that back. Grid wants to go away. That's going to be fine. Brandon Schatz. Mr. Schatzy going to start on pole here in P1. Matthew Selby, Aiden Lewis, Braden Carter, Derek Darnell, Chase Coven, Jeffrey Hyatt, Brandon Jones, Tim Graham, and Philip Tabot. I'm so sorry, Philip. God, I'm so sorry. But he is going to be in the 151. He is going to be starting P10 here tonight. in heat race number 1. We got a lot of Midwest Sim Sports out there. You got Shotzi leading the way as the cars are going to go around turns 3 and 4. We'll get situated up into our global broadcast booth here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are green at Eldora. Just like that, the action is ready to begin. The drivers are going to be pinning it around the top. Look at Matthew Selby here. He's going to be forcing the issue very early with kind of a Chick Hicks theme going on in that number 46. He is going to bring a lot of struggle and a lot of pressure to that 34 side of Brandon Schatz. But Mr. Schatzy will not go away without a fight. We know that for sure. Going to be 10 laps here, ladies and gentlemen. 10 laps. The drivers got 10 minutes to get it done. Top 3 are going to advance. However, with the unfortunate car count we have here tonight, I believe everybody's going to be making the feature anyway. So essentially, these are just seeding races. They get you seated in a spot for the feature here tonight. 100 laps. There's a big battle going on behind these two drivers between Jeffrey Hyatt and Chase Coven. However, we are going to have a yellow flag out here, and it looks like Aiden Lewis and Braden Carter might be the ones who got caught up in a little bit of a tango there. We'll have to take a look. Coming to the start-finish line, I mean, they're just going to collide. Very unfortunate there. As I'm not entirely sure, we might need to get a little bit of an inside view here. As yeah, unfortunately, I think the situation might have just been, I don't think Aiden Lewis really saw him. If that is the case, that is very, very unfortunate for our drivers here tonight. Make sure you guys are sounding off in the comment section on who you want to win here tonight. Not just in heat race number 1 here, but the whole thing, the whole 100-lap show. There's got to be someone out there you're rooting for. Me, personally, doesn't really matter. I got to pay $20 to whoever wins it. Doesn't really matter. So it all kind of means the same to me. I don't really care who wins. Although, what a story it would be for Tim Graham if he could get it done in that number 64. As iRacing official pace truck going to make its way in. Matthew Selby this time with the button in that 46 Majula C Speed Shop car. The super late models are absolutely roaring here tonight. You can hear them even though they're on the other side of this half-mile banked oval. I believe 21 degrees of banking on the curves. We didn't really have a chance to really dive deep into that. I got my timings a little wrong. We didn't get to address the things I quite wanted to address, but hey, that is perfectly fine. Matthew Selby now with 4 laps to go, and he really isn't being contested all too hard. Brandon Schatz trying to get things done, not particularly doing the best job when it comes to catching the leader. However, there are about 8 cars behind him that he is faster than. So that is the plus heading into the feature. Although with it being $20 to win, we're only paying the winner. All these drivers only have one goal, and that is to get to the top. 2 sticks in the air for Barney the Flag Man, Matthew Selby. In the number 46, going to bring home this heat race here. 1 more lap. I shouldn't really jinx him, but he has looked crystal clear. He has been clinical with how he has drove this super late model, and across the line, he gets it done. Brandon Schatz in P2 with Jeffrey Hyatt bringing it home in P3 as well. So he has the final step on the rostrum. That's going to be 2 out of 3 slots claimed by Midwest Sim Sports. as we get a good look at the Eldora quad team there, the little quads that they be driving around, whether it be, you know, Aaron part running, starting the cars, man. I mean, hey, you never know what they're going to be used for. Tony Stewart, he likes to just kind of drift. He likes to drift the track on those quads, man. If you've ever been to Eldora in real life, he does it about once a night. I'm sure you can see it on the broadcast as well. Anyway, heat race number 2 getting started. Kevin Horner going to be on pole in the number 12. Aaron Bowman in the number 44 is going to be in P2. Toban Keefe, Party Keefe Racing, going to be in P3, the Canadian driver. Chase Copeland in P4, representing Monaco. Wanting to be a Monacan just like Charles Leclerc, who unfortunately surrendered a win to his Formula One teammate last Sunday, Lewis Hamilton, picking up his first win of the season in the Ferrari. JP Shed in P5, part of Neverlift Motorsports in that number 20. Brooks Campbell, this is his debut week, I'm pretty sure. In that number 17, he's going to start P6. Chris Perota in P7. TJ Boyd going to be outside row number 4. The Maniac James Miller, part of Valhalla Motorsports, going to be in P9 with Nick Mason, rounding out the grid in P10. So drivers set to begin heat race number 2 here. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure don't go anywhere, because we still have a 100-lap feature race to run here tonight. Aaron Bowman going to fall asleep a little bit on that start from Kevin Horner. So here he goes in the 121 with the Chili's helmet, looking like Carson Hocevar. And oh no, Toban Keefe is going to catch the wall into turns 1 and 2. You can see it on the right side of the camera there. Aaron Bowman almost getting collected in all that mess. That would have spelled defeat surely for the 44, who has his eyes set on a heat race win, and Toban Keefe is going to do it again. Aaron Bowman just cannot keep it out of the 110 of Chase Copeland. No fault to him. He just had to get out of the way of Toban Keefe. JP Shed, it's his first week as well. Last time we saw him on the OuTPost Racing Network was Monday during the Dirt Revival Tour Season 3 opener. Chase Copeland with the slider around him. He's going to get that move done. Now sits at a 3 wide. Chase able to get out and away from that. So the 110 driver, Chase Copeland from Reedland, Kentucky, doing his thing there. Trying to chase down Toban Keefe here in the number 6. But it does not matter, for Kevin Horner is a second ahead of the running mate Toban Keefe. He currently sits at the top of the helm. If we get a little bit of a wider angle here from our spotting desk, or spotting tower, I should say, he has a massive, frankly, ungodly amount of room between him and Toban Keefe. But even though Toban Keefe had all the struggles early on in the race with hitting the wall into turns 1 and 2, you see he's almost doing it there, riding the cushion finally now. But Toban Keefe is going to hold on to P2 one more lap around. Chase Copeland's got one more chance to get this last overtake done. There's JP Shed. He's not going to be able to hold a candle to the top 3 currently. Chase Copeland with the slider. He's going to check up early. Toban Keefe able to get around the outside, secure P2, but it's all for Nye anyway, because Kevin Horner in the 121 is going to be taking home the win here in heat race number 2. And unfortunately, with the car count, we're not going to have any consolations here. Going to go straight into the warm-up. And then, when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a massive 100-lap feature race to decide the winner $20 to win here on the Outpost Racing Network. It's the Win Cash Wednesday series. We'll be back after this.
Can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Outpost Racing Network. My name, Mac Nelson. You are watching the Outpost Racing League's Win Cash Wednesday series here live from virtual Rossburg, Ohio, at the great pinnacle of dirt racing here, Eldora Speedway. There you get a fantastic look at Brandon Schatz in the number 34. As we have our cars popping up, gridding onto the track. And man, oh man, what a beautiful time it is to go racing under the lights here at Eldora. Let's get you guys your starting grid for the 100-lap feature race here tonight. Matthew Selby for the Powerhouse Performance just joined the Discord today. He finds himself with a pole position here in the Outpost Racing League. Kevin Horner, who looked fantastic there in heat race number 2, he is going to start on the outside of row number 1, Brandon Schatz to Bon Keefe. Going to be row number 2, Jeffrey Hyatt, Chase Copeland. Going to be row number 3, so that means 3 of the top 6 are going to be representing Midwest Sim Sports. Chase Coven is going to be in P7, JP Shed. In P8, Brandon Jones, TJ Boyd. Row number 5, Derek Darnell, Aaron Bowman. Going to round out your top 12. Row number 7, Tim Graham and Chris Parada. Philip Thibault. Philip Thibault. I apologize once again. I'm so sorry. P15, Brooks Campbell, and P16, Braden Carter in the 005. Representing CSC Motorsports, he sits in P17, the Maniac James Miller. In the number 19, we'll start P18, Aiden Lewis, P19, Nick Mason, rounding out the grid. Speaking of, that's perfect timing. Let's get into that spotting tower. We are green for 100 laps here at Eldora. Matthew Selby off to a fantastic start, and we're already yellow. The fireworks didn't even get a chance to complete. The flames still spitting out of victory lane. We'll go back and take a look at what happened to Brooks Campbell here in the 17 Budweiser Super Late Model. Hell yeah, brother. Oh no, that looked to be maybe not on the number 17. It looks like it might be on the number 19 here of James Miller. He kind of just wadded the 151 up. We'll have to see what the call on track is, but pretty sure that's going to be a penalty in the face of Mr. James Miller. Brooks Campbell gonna have to use one of the fast repairs, get back out on track. Good thing is it happened lap 1, turn 1. So surely it will not happen again. That might be the famous last words. You never know. But Matthew Selby, obviously enjoying his position. He's going to have to be very smart at how he attacks this racetrack if he wants to be fast and hold this lead for the full 100 laps here tonight. Kevin Horner, obviously in the 121, going to be very, very attentive, very active towards what we are seeing here. And if we go yellow quick again, I'm going to send us to commercial, guys. I apologize. I don't know why the lights on the car keep popping in and out, as you can see there. I think the whole track should probably be lit. I mean, yeah, you can see the backstretch is clearly illuminated and the cars are not getting that, so I'll have to take a look at it. If we go yellow again, then I will be sure to do so. However, on the top side here, the number 6 to Bon Keefe. Looking very, very good right now as we progress through the first stages of this race. Taban Keefe gonna push his luck up there on the top early, and look at the runs he's getting here, ladies and gentlemen. Using quite a bit of tire. He's driving the car pretty hard, but hey, man, he's making it work. He now takes the lead over Matthew Selby. Shuffle back a few spots. It's going to be JP Shed one position up on the grid, but that's going to make two. He's going to get around Jeffrey Hyatt. Now, Jeffrey Hyatt, a driver we talk to a lot here in the WCW, as well as the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour that just ended a few weeks ago. He's a driver that will definitely take it easy to start out. He is going to save, and he is going to be a problem once we get a few laps into this thing. Not even 10 laps done, though, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a 60-minute time limit here tonight. So in the event that we do have a ton of cautions, we are going to have to be mindful of that clock. Taban Keefe still going to be up front here in the number 6. League has him listed at 25. I believe that's a 16, actually. I do believe there might be a 1 beside that 6, so I apologize. Looking like a 16 there for Taban Keefe. Trying to think of all the great number 16s in the world of sports. Can't really think of any. It's a pretty underused number in the athletic world. Same with 46, to be fair. Kevin Horner now under pressure from Shotzi, Mr. Brandon Schatz. In that number 34, representing Midwest Sim Sports, Chase Copeland, 1 spot up into P5. He had himself a good heat race. However, he's going to have to capitalize more. He's going to have to build off what he had done in the heat. He's going to have to be just a tiny bit faster. Here's JP Shed now, tucking up under the rear end of Chase Copeland there, looking to maybe get something flowing. Not going to be enough momentum on the exit for that slider to really work out. Advantage goes to Copeland some more. Here comes Hyatt, though, so we're going to have a 3-car battle for P5 here. That is going to be your closest battle on track. However, Tim Graham in the number 64, down 1 spot. Started this race in P13, finds himself in P14 now, but he does have Derek Darnell right in front of him. Derek Darnell, one of the big wigs over at SDS. I believe it's Slingin' Dirt Series. You'll be able to hear me on the call for them. It'll be right here on the Outpost Racing Network. Going to be a bi-weekly Friday series, and I believe that starts on June 25th, so make sure to lock in, get tuned into that, just like Philip DeBole has himself locked in on that overtake on to Derek Darnell. It was a clean move. It was smooth. What maneuver could possibly be smoother for Philip DeBole there, now sitting in P13. We go just a few spots up to Brandon Jones, who finds himself witnessing a battle between Chase Coven and Chase Copeland. So it's going to be Chase squared out here, battling for P7, and Chase Copeland, unfortunately, is just falling off the grid. We are only 18 laps into this. Leader Taban Keefe about to start lap number 19. He just did there, running a 15.89 that last time around. Maybe a 10th quicker for Matthew Selby, as now the leader, Taban Keefe, already getting into lap traffic, so drivers going to be shown the blue and white flag, or blue and yellow flag. I apologize, that's going to be a car around Nick Mason. That's going to be the yellow flag out, and Nick Mason and Brooks Campbell are going to be registered as stopped on the track. Oof. So I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to send you to an ad just very, very quickly. I'm going to try to fix this lighting situation. We will be right back, and I mean that right back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, my efforts did not help too much. It does seem like we still have some of that popping dark and then popping back light.
Green flag.
As I'm not entirely sure why I'm hearing a green flag, green flag. Not sure if you guys heard that too. However, that does mean that we are indeed green. We're racing here at Eldora Speedway. Week 4 of the Outpost Racing League Win Cash Wednesday Series. Here comes Chick Hicks, better known as Matthew Selby. Here in the 46, he is going to throw a slider on our current leader, Tabon Keith. He is going to actually get that to stick. That's going to be lap led for Matthew Selby. The hopes of a perfect race are kind of out the window now. Tabon Keith, James Miller, the Maniac, being credited with the lead on some buggy iRacing timing tower stuff. Made me think something crazy was happening here. Chase Copeland down into 9th. He has dropped 3 grid positions. Brandon Schatz down 11. Now make that 12. We'll get to that in just a minute. Tabon Keith with the switchback on Kevin Horner. That's going to leave the advantage in Tabon Keith's court now. Coming to the start-finish line, drivers going to be starting lap number 27, and Kevin Horner just shuts the door on Tabon Keith, swiping across the nose. That is not going to make the number 25 very happy. And once again, I have no idea why I'm getting reports of yellow flags and green flags. So I do so dearly apologize about that. That's going to be our 3rd caution of the night. It looks like Brandon Jones might have gotten into a little something. Yeah, just a little bit of a love tap there with Aaron Bowman. And then the 151, for some reason, just chose to kind of just run right through him. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at Eldora. Once again, I'm going to break immersion here and try to fix exactly what's going on here. We're going to turn that spotter off. Now we shouldn't have to see that anymore. We'll take that track info away. Hope you got some good information there. As Brandon Schatz, I'd love to look into what exactly happened to him, because Brandon Schatz was in a very good position running top 5, top 6 for a little bit. And unfortunately, he kind of just fell off a cliff. But I'm not able to find a specific moment that happened. As I'm not sure, we're going to go green again here, ladies and gentlemen. 27 laps completed. Drivers going to be taking number 28 now. Once again, Matthew Selby and Tabon Keith going to be battling it out. Taban Keefe trying to take the least distance possible. He is going to be flooding that bottom side, trying to keep it pivoted on that left front tire. Driving it completely off the right rear. He is now going to wash up into the tops of the corner, up where the Angels sing, and JP Shed is going to get into Jeffrey Hyatt. And now that leaves JP Shed with no front bumper, no right front tire. And that is going to have to be a quick repair for the number 06 there. We'll go back and take a look here. JP Shed took the corners well, and Jeffrey Hyatt just had nowhere to go, really. And we see that time and time again here with the no mirrors. It's very hard to get a grasp on where these cars are positioned around you, so it's very important that you are attentive. You got your eye on that relative. As we have a fair few amount of drivers coming in. Chase Copeland bringing it in. Jeffrey Hyatt, Brandon Schatz, James Miller, JP Shed, and Nick Mason all bringing it into the pits. Brooks Campbell and that number 17, Budweiser, unfortunately, is going to be calling it a night here after 12 laps completed. But more to the point, Matthew Selby doing a fantastic job at keeping things cool, calm, and collected up there in the front. Same can be said for the number 16, Mr. Taban Keefe. He has found himself in a very, very good position here. iRacing official pace truck going to make its way into the safety of the pit lane. Matthew Selby going to wait on it just a tiny bit. You don't see that very often anymore. Usually drivers are trying to take off as fast as they can, but very cool, very calm out of Matthew Selby. It's just playing into the narrative that I'm drawing out perfectly. And across the start-finish line we go to start our green flag run here. Drivers have completed one lap of this run. 69 nice laps to go here at Eldora Speedway. Matthew Selby in the 46 is now being pressured by Kevin Horner in the RTB Triple H Super Late model. That's going to be a slider thrown on Matthew Selby. He's going to sit a little hard in the corner. However, it's still going to work out. Kevin Horner with the pass for the race lead. Matthew Selby now having to drive off the back foot. We haven't really seen that yet in the 30-odd laps that we have completed, but does that just mean Matthew Selby might have used a little too much of his stuff a little too early? I mean, we're not even halfway through the race. We're not even close to halfway through the race, really. And Matthew Selby already starting to show some signs of weaknesses here. Chase Copeland all the way back in P16 after that pit stop on lap number 31. He is going to have a fantastic view of the battle going on ahead, though, so let's ride on board with the 110 Super Late Model driver for Midwest Sim Sports. It's Chase Copeland. Very good work there by Chase Copeland to get himself familiar with the situation. He had a whole lot of action going on ahead of him, but he is going to hit the wall just a tiny bit coming into turn number 4 there. That's going to give JP Shed the opportunity to maybe stick his nose in, maybe figure something out. Now Braden Carter has had a moment in the 005. We'll go back and take a look. That's the 44 of Aaron Bowman and the 04 of Chase Coven. He tried to split the difference and... man. I get the move. I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to split the difference, but the 04 of Chase Coven just rose up, and I mean, to be fair, he had every right to. That was... Hey, they say you're no longer a racing driver if you fail to go for a gap that exists, or, you know, however the quote goes. And unfortunately, Braden Carter got burned on that one. However, I do believe he did kind of ask for it. But when there's only $20 to win to the winner, and there's no long season storylines, there's no championship points attached to the structure we have here, hey, I don't blame a man for going for a move like that. It's win or bust out here in the WCW. So very, very cool to see drivers actually jumping at the opportunity, wanting to get themselves involved here in the race. Brandon Jones checking out the stream. Right front got broke when he bumped me. So sad for the likes of Brandon Jones. Man, he was ripping out there for a moment. He completed 26 laps on the night and unfortunately had to call it in there, and oh no! Matthew Selby and Tabon Keefe, I believe. Both involved in that. We'll go back and take a look. Oh no. Tabon Keefe, I apologize, was just in the pits. I didn't even realize that part of it. We'll go take a look at Brandon's shots here. It's going to have him crashing beforehand. We'll have to... Oh, yep, that would be why. Matthew Selby bouncing into the number 64 of Tim Graham, and that collecting Brandon's shots as well. We'll go back and take a look at what happened to Matthew Selby, and... yeah, our race leader, Kevin Horner, kind of just squeezed him off, pause, before he even got to the start-finish line. So, unless I'm missing a piece to the puzzle there, that's going to be a very easy call for our race director, Cody Lewis, who, might I add, has been doing a fantastic job here as race control. Want to give a big shout out to him. But that is, unfortunately, going to be our 6th caution of the night. 21 minutes have elapsed here. We do have a 60-minute time limit, so drivers are going to need to maybe just possibly clean things up just a tiny bit while we have ourselves one heck of a latter half of an Eldora race here. Over 50 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. $20 to win. You can find this action every single week here on the Outpost Racing Network, 7:30 p.m. CST. And I don't want to be a leaker. I don't want to give away anything too crazy, but I'm very, very intrigued at the idea of starting this up, this kind of series up, on the asphalt side of things, whether it be oval, whether it be roads. So maybe some new stuff coming in the future for the Outpost Racing League. Make sure you stay tuned meanwhile. I think drivers might be going around one more time. Can't really see the pace truck right now. Yes, they are. As we get a good look there at our iRacing official pace truck, he has his lights off, meaning he will pull into the safety of the pit lane here soon, infield, however you would like to call it. As Aaron Bowman will now have the button in that black and gold, sleek and stealthy number 44 super late model. He is going to pull it early. Much in conglomeration with the other race leaders here tonight. You really only saw it not happen one time. And that was from Matthew Selby, who now sits in P16. He is going to fight his way back up, though. He's got over half the allotted laps to do it. So who knows, he might be able to make something happen. Our leader, Aaron Bowman, experiencing a little bit of connectivity issues. Can't front a man for that. I fight a war with my internet service provider every single time I try to stream a broadcast, so hey. I get it, man, Philip Tibble. Once again, I'm so sorry. We're just going to call him PT, man. PT in the 151. He is in P2. He joined the league today. This is his debut. JP Shed into the wall off what we've seen so many times here tonight from these drivers, just not giving that top lane enough room. And, you know, once again, it happened there. It is a little bit harder to call because they were just almost clear of each other. Very, very close. However, he was not. JP Shed gonna tow it back to the pits. Very, very valiant try from him. It was a valiant effort. Unfortunately, just not his night here in the Outpost Racing League. Hopefully he comes back next Wednesday. A lot of speed on the side of JP Shed there in the 06. He had a whole lot of momentum, a whole lot of promise. He just had the dial turned up to about 10.3. We only needed him at about 9.9. I mean, just so close. But just maybe a little overzealous in a couple of these situations here. Meanwhile, back to the front, Aaron Bowman in the number 44. PT and TJ Boyd are going to be the other two who are on the provisional rostrum as of now. Chase Covenant, P4. Brandon Schatz has made his way back up to the top 5. Derek Darnell gonna be there as well. Chase Copeland, Matt Selby, Aiden Lewis, and Kevin Horner are going to make up your top 10. And for PT, man, I'm not sure how much he does, you know, official racing on iRacing, but he's only got a 1,400 iRating, and here he sits in front of some of the titans of the dirt racing community. We are green again. Aaron Bowman not wasting around, not playing any games. He is immediately on that loud pedal, and he is out to kill. Jeffrey Hyatt with a black flag. Not entirely sure what that is about. Looks like it might have been a bug with the start here. We do know that happens in the dirt racing community. He is going to get that cleared. Aaron Bowman in the 44, only 51 laps to go when he crosses the stripe. That's going to be the halfway point of week number 4 here in the Outpost Racing League. 50 done, 50 to go. And look at Matthew Selby with the run of a lifetime here. He is already up to P2. I'm sure that was must-watch television, as Matthew Selby putting on one heck of a show here. Behind him is going to be PT, up 12 spots into that 3rd position, but here comes TJ Boyd in the number 15. He's got Chase Copeland on his top side. So now we see Chase Copeland starting to pick up some pace. We see him being quick now. He's going to have a little bit of a scuffle with the 151 of PT. But he's going to get by him. Now that leads only 2 other drivers. Brandon Schatz now, and unfortunately, I think this is where we see Mr. Philip PT. We're going to see him kind of falter here, maybe lose himself just a little bit. Slider coming in from Brandon Schatz. PT going to navigate it well, but Brandon Schatz able to keep the momentum up, and he is going to secure that overtake. A little bit of a wall ride there. That's going to buffer some of his speed off. But everything is all good, no harm, no foul. And if we expand the view here, you can see that it's a big gap between our top 3, Aaron Bowman, all the way in turns number 3 and 4. 1 second back from him is going to be Matthew Selby, and 2 seconds back from him is going to be Chase Copeland. But that is all going to change as we see a yellow flag out again, going to be the 8th caution of the contest here tonight. As I'm not really particularly sure why we had a yellow flag. It might have been the speed of James Miller trying to come into the pit. He might have just been going a little too slow. Maybe that called for the iRacing official yellow. But either way, we're going to get this race started back here in just a few moments' time. But I just wanted to take a moment. Thank you guys for tuning in to the OuTPost Racing Network. It was an absolute magnificent time to be here. We still have a little bit of race left, as I apologize, a little bit of an audio problem in my headset. Hopefully that wasn't anything on your guys' end as well. Big shout out to Monster Graphics for hopping on board with the network there. Go check them out for all your graphic needs, whether it be for the appeal on a website, or if you need a wrap done for your car in-game. Green flag in the air, and unfortunately, our contest has kind of dwindled down. Aaron Bowman under immense pressure from the 46 of Matthew Selby. He is going to be hitting the wall, going to be almost 3 wide for the lead. Aaron Bowman's going to be able to catch it and hold on to it. Chase Copeland trying to slide his way in front of Aaron Bowman. And he was able to do that. Aaron Bowman's dream run looking like it might come to an end. He now has Aiden Lewis, who's going to slide up across the nose of Aaron Bowman. Brandon Schatz can do nothing but watch as he has to witness Aiden Lewis and Aaron Bowman going at it there. TJ Boyd also wanting to get into the equation, and here we go with a driver 4 positions down. It's going to be Kevin Horner. Aaron Bowman had himself a moment. He is able to get himself back to the pits before we go yellow. Big shout out to Aaron Bowman for doing that. Not interrupting us again with a 9th caution. I'd love to see that out of the drivers that know their night might just be over. Just anything to keep the yellow away. Matthew Selby now with a 1-car length lead over Chase Copeland, but he faces a ton of pressure from the 55 Super Late Model driver of Aiden Lewis. Aiden Lewis now digging into the top of this racetrack. Trying to find that cushion, trying to hook up and find the most speed possible through these corners. Matthew Selby starting to seem a little obsolete, maybe starting to seem a little fatigued, as we still have 34 laps left. Drivers have been around this circuit 67 times. But we still have 1/3 of the race to go. Nothing matters except the win. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 cars remain out of 20. You don't really like to see that slider thrown by Copeland onto Selby. How will Selby respond? It's a drag race down to the corner. Chase Copeland going to be able to find more momentum at the start of the corner, which makes his exit a whole lot faster than Matthew Selby's. And now we see another yellow flag, going to be our 9th one of the night. Things were just starting to spice up as well. So it looks like Brandon Schatz in the number 34, and ooh, that's going to be a very hard tap on the wall, not able to get it out of the wall, and he is just unfortunately going to have to stop on the track. And that is going to throw the yellow flag, so not too many cars left here in this contest. Brandon Schatz is going to call it a day, I believe. I think there's a decent chance he's out of the car. And if that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to leave us with 6 cars. Derek Darnell in the number 86 is currently in the pit lane. He is going to find his way back out onto the track, not a lap down. But now he is a lap down, so I'm not sure if he is going to get that one back, but looks like we got 7 cars out here, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Horner still going to find himself on the... no, he's not. I apologize. Oh, man, we're racing. I didn't realize we were getting back to racing that soon. Chase Copeland pulls the button early. 30 laps to go. The 2-time WCW winner. Is he going to make it a 3rd time? The 46 of Matthew Selby trying to get himself involved. Trying to find an opening here. He's going to hit the wall into turn number 4 on that time around, though. That might give Chase Copeland just the opportunity. He needs to take this lead. Backslider into 1 and 2. Matt Selby not going to concede, I should say, very easily. He is going to fight this to the end. Aiden Lewis now trying to almost piggyback off the momentum Chase Copeland is showing, but he could not follow it around the 46 as well. So he, unfortunately, is going to get left out to dry, and it now seems to be a battle between the 110 and the 46. But Chase Copeland is just simply running away with it. Aiden Lewis now around Matt Selby. And he is actually going to get that slider to stick. So up 17 spots for the 55 of Aiden Lewis. He now rests in P2 when he started the race in P19. Matt Selby, who started this race on pole for Powerhouse Performance, he now finds himself in P3. the bottom step of the rostrum, but more importantly, he's not gonna get paid. We have another yellow. That makes our 10th caution of the night. We've had more cautions than there currently are cars out on track. Here's the 151, and what the? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. We gonna And, sorry guys, just had to message our wonderful and glorious race director, Mr. Cody Lewis. That was just downright silly. That's really all I have to say about it, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. We are going to have our 11th start of the night here. Drivers probably very, very used to this. They are used to the restart. Chase Copeland gonna have the button now, and if I was a gambling man, I'd say he's probably gonna pull it early, and that is exactly what he did, or I should say push if it's a button, not a lever. He's going to push the button early. He's going to get on that loud pedal. Aiden Lewis in quick tow. 23 laps left here in this main event. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, that burp. I hope that didn't come through on the mic. If it did, I so dearly apologize. Chase Copeland in the 110, battling Aiden Lewis in the 55. Matt Selby, unfortunately, just doesn't really have it in the tank anymore. He already sits at a 1.6 second disadvantage. He's going to be hitting the wall into turns number 1 and 2 there. Derek Darnell, who's had an impressive run of things. He is up 7 spots, started this in 11th for Midwest Sim Sports. Chris Parada, who we have not had a chance to really look at lately. He sits in P5. That's going to be a nice top 5 finish for the Mo Diggin' Mafia and Lunatic Racing driver. There in the number 27 Super Late Model PT. Gonna be battling the 04, I think that is, or the 84, I apologize. No, that's the 64 of Tim Graham. He is currently in P10. Looking to maybe get his stock up by just completing some more laps, hopefully. That doesn't result in a yellow flag slider or switchback coming through for Aiden Lewis. He is now going to grasp the lead. 17 laps remaining here at Eldora, week 4 of the Outpost Racing League's Win Cash Wednesday series. Drivers have now completed 84 laps. They need 16 more before they are done for the week. We pack up and head to Lucas Oil next Wednesday. Chase Copeland surely is going to have at least one more shot to overtake Aiden Lewis, but right now the lap times are speaking for themselves. Aiden Lewis is 2/10 ahead. We'll have to see how it fares next time around the stripe. It's going to clock in at a 15.87 for Aiden Lewis and a 15.82 for Chase Copeland. But now we deal with some back markers. Even though we're on like a 6-car track, these leaders are having to deal with some back markers. Maybe, just maybe, Chase Copeland can find himself a hole. Maybe take the opportunity, take the win out from the grasp of Aiden Lewis, but things are looking really good for the 55 camp right now. I'm sure Midwest is watching this on with smiles on their faces. They're seeing Aiden Lewis one of their lower rating iRacing drivers, in a spot to claim victory. And $20 here in the Outpost Racing League. This is what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we race. 90 laps now, 10 more to go for Aiden Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, with it being 10 to go. If we have another caution, it'll be a single file restart, which will help out the likes of Aiden Lewis very, very well. It's going to be a 4-second gap between what looked like a surefire winner in Matt Selby to P2 up the road, Chase Copeland. 4.6 seconds. Man, oh man. 5 cars currently on the lead lap. Chris Parada in the number 27, going to be the last active car that is on the lead lap. Seven laps to go now for the number 55 driver, Mr. Aiden Lewis, the fake Monacan Chase Copeland behind him. And after being a 2-time WCW winner, will Chase Copeland find something in the tank to become a 3-time winner? Or will we see a new winner? Will we crown a new debutante in the Outpost Racing League? Aiden Lewis, he's now coming around on the 27 of Chris Parada, but hang on, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of trouble in paradise for our leader, Aiden Lewis. He's got nowhere to go. Chase Copeland now right beside him. He's gonna knock Tim Graham out of the way. Fair play, honestly. The 27 needs to now find a way to get out of the way. And now the lead is only 5/10 for Aiden Lewis. 3 laps to go. 2 sticks in the air for Barney the Flagman. Only 2 more revolutions around the classic, iconic Eldora Speedway. The gap has already shot back up to 0.7 of a second. Taking the white flag now is Aiden Lewis. This man started second to last on the grid 100 laps prior. And now 45 minutes in the future, Aiden Lewis for Midwest Sim Sports in the number 55 Super Late models are going to cross the line. He's going to be $20 richer, and he is officially a WCW winner. The 55 of Aiden Lewis, what a run for the kid representing MWSS. Wow. How cool is that? What an effort from the 110 of Chase Copeland. Tried to make it 3 stars on the jersey. 3 wins out of 4 races, but he could not get it done. His win rate is gonna drop to 50%. Mike Augustine as the other winner here in the OTPRL. There's the frame for Mr. Aiden Lewis. He gets it done here at Eldora. And wow, what a fantastic race we saw, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden Lewis in the 55 getting things done. And you know what? While we're at it, he's who we're going to talk to. It's the man of the hour, the number 55 of Aiden Lewis. Aiden, how you feeling, man?
I'm actually shaking. My heart's beating in my chest.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I love to hear it. I'm glad we can put you in an environment for that to happen. Walk me through it, man. I'll just be honest, didn't look too hot at the start of the race. I know a lot of that has to do with where you started, not where you want to start at all. But hey, 100 laps is a long race, and I'm sure that's what you were telling yourself.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was kind of better starting in the back than I would be up front. I don't know. I do better starting kind of further towards the back and then working my way up. And I don't know, dude. I was just saving as much tire as I could save as long as I could without going a lap down. And then, I saw a bunch of people up front pushing real hard, so I just stayed at the bottom and saved tire as long as I could. So, and it paid off. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It paid off extremely well. Now, tell me, you were one of the first drivers, at least that I noticed, to kind of send it up top once we got a few cautions in, and you kind of just didn't really go back down to the bottom. Did the track just look the nicest for you up there, or was there a certain mindset you had going into that?
Yeah, I needed that. I knew I needed to gain as many spots early as I could so I could work on, leaders or whatever and so forth. And the top was really the only place I could really pass anybody. I couldn't really keep up with the momentum of everybody on top with me being on the bottom, and the bottom to me wasn't very good. So, but also I was trying to save tire on top also while doing that. So yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. The saving, the pushing, we saw a lot of drivers experimenting with the push early strat. I believe Matt Selby was one of those drivers as well. Unfortunately, he kind of just fell short towards the end of the race, and that just goes to show how important saving is. So you proved to be on the right kind of frame of mind, right kind of strategy for the race here tonight. You got the win, man. $20 richer. I mean, hey, it ain't much, but it's honest work. But we're gonna let you, we're gonna let you get out of here and celebrate that win, man. But before we do, is there anybody you would like to thank for the performance here tonight?
Oh, dude, I got a big shout out to Midwest Sim Sports, and really, really big shout out to Chase. I was running his setup that he made tonight, and that thing was on kill, dude. It was ripping. And all the guys at Midwest, they've helped me insanely amounts of just teaching and everything. And CFM setups, they give us a lot of stuff to build off of and adjust the way that kind of we like to drive. And Aces and Eights Customs for my wrap, and y'all for putting this on, and Chase and everybody for the good race.
Yes, sir. We appreciate the kind words over here at the OuTPost Racing Network. I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. Slide on out. Enjoy that. I'll be linking up with you just shortly after the race to get your payment details and all that. But yeah, congrats, man. Winner of Week 4 of the OuTpost Racing League's WCW Series, the number 55 of Aiden Lewis.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
So that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Another night here under the lights for the OuTpost Racing League's Win Cash Wednesday series. Thank you so much to all the drivers involved. Shout out to our race director, Cody Lewis, as well. Big shout out to everyone inviting me into your homes here, checking us out, watching us. If you'd like to check out the league, join the Discord below. All you got to do is join the Discord, apply to the iRacing League, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. You can go racing for $20 every single week. Well, we'll be at Lucas Oil next Wednesday, same time, same place. It's going to be the same sort of vibes, wheel-to-wheel racing, flat out, no safety net, no points that you're racing for. You got to win the thing, baby. You got to win and get paid. That is your only objective. Have a fantastic Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one.